let's face it, this is not the worst thing you've caught me doing.
Jacob, Sam, thanks for coming out and doing this.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
On air.
On air, yeah. So what's it like now that you've graduated and you've moved on to the next phases of your lives?
It's different, that's for sure. Right now, it's kind of a waiting game for me because I'm going to school in like around a year, and right now, like I didn't want to take a gap year, but since the school I'm going to is like super, it's one of two schools in Canada that do diving, and they only have one semester per year. And I got caught up with high school, and then right out of high school, 1 month after, that was the starting of the semester. So I had to, I couldn't start then because I didn't have the prerequisites, you know?
Right. So what is it that you're going into?
Commercial diving.
Nice.
Yep.
I understand there's some welding involved in that as well that you're looking to get into possibly?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as common as you'd think, though. It's more of like, basically think of a construction worker, just underwater. Like,
Yeah.
welding isn't as common as people think about it because they'll call it underwater welding, but it's just one title, commercial diving.
Right.
But yeah, like a lot of prerequisites before you start school, and a lot of money that's needed too. Like a lot of gear, it takes a lot of money. So working at the hatchery in town to make a few bucks. And then in my pastimes, I hang out with Jacob and all the other guys.
Not watching movies.
Not watching movies. Know nothing about movies.
I feel like I read something like years ago, like I'm talking like 10, 15 years ago, that during underwater welding, this is going to sound stupid, but there can almost be like a fire underwater if the chemicals get away from... Maybe I saw this in a movie, so I could be talking out my ass, so maybe I should just stop talking now. For some reason, I just thought it was like you could feel yourself burning underwater, which could just be a chemical reaction to whatever, but...
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I know when you're welding underwater, sometimes, this is kind of rare, but I've heard of like from the heat of the weld, it'll, like since the water is made of H2O, the hydrogen will expand and then blow up like a hydrogen bomb underwater.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so divers will just explode.
I'm going to see that firsthand. It'll be the last thing I ever see.
Just, yeah, you'll see it for a second or so.
Yeah, before boom.
So I see you zipping around on your board all the time. Do you have something similar, or...
I ride the same kind of board.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
And you won't even just see us, you'll hear us. Like, you can probably hear him rolling around the block. I'll hear him ride by, come here every once in a while.
Yeah, I can hear you on this, like a block over coming to my house.
Yeah, it's not as loud as your mini bike, though.
Yeah, no, not the mini bike.
So you've just graduated, right?
Yep. So looking to go into industrial electrician, but my start time has been delayed like 2 months now, looking at November, December, because work has been so slow in the construction area. I was talking to my buddies that are working there right now, and they were saying it's because interest rates are so high, especially when you're doing like industrial work. Because like those big companies, they don't pay it like straight up front in cash. They pay it with loans. So with the interest rates so high, it makes it really hard to make it affordable to get a loan.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's also why I'm glad I chose, like, a niche job to go into, is because there's a lot of demand and there's not a lot of people doing it. So one, you can make more money because of that, and also you're not going to be worried about finding your next job if you're working contracts, or you won't be worried about just finding a job right out of school.
Yeah, where would you find these contracts? How do you find them?
I don't know about contracts right now, because to get a contract, you need all the gear, you need all the certifications just by yourself. Mm-hmm. And the problem with that is, like, Dry suits, $6,000.
Yeah,
Hat.
just a calm 6,000.
Yeah, just casually 6,000 out the window. Hats like 20 grand.
Is there special gear that you need, or does your company pay for that?
Well, if you're working like a contract for yourself, like you have to pay for all of it, and also it's the crew on the surface too, because you know how it's surface supplied.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
so you know
do they pull you out on like tugboats and then you just drop you off from there?
Well, it all depends. It could be like you could be working on a dock, you could be working on an oil rig.
Yeah.
So where are the majority of these jobs then? Like, I know you're just saying like docks or whatever. So would you be looking more in the States, or is there a lot of work that needs to be done here, like the Great Lakes? Do they need stuff done there, or do you have to go basically to one of the coasts, either the East or West Coast?
I've heard in the U.S., I'm pretty sure most of the demand is in Mexico, and here in Canada, it's really wherever. It's a very seasonal job, so like if it's not in the winter, you can go just about anywhere.
Yeah, if you were going to do any other job, what would it be?
I'd be homeless, man. I'm gonna be honest. I'd be very much homeless. Because the thing about diving is like I'm working for free now, technically, and like I enjoy that without getting paid. Like I'll wake up at 7 a.m., smile on my face, ready to go jump in the water.
That's how you know it's a job that you should be doing then.
Yeah,
Yeah. If you have a smile on your face on your way to work, then is it really work?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you're getting paid for it, it's worth
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh, man. What about like, would you ever do like high-rise welding if you couldn't do underwater welding?
Oh, like, what's it called? Structural welding?
You're like an iron worker.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be hard work.
I
That'd
feel
be a lot
like
of work.
if I was to just be a welder, it wouldn't be in a shop, you know?
No, that would suck.
Yeah, because like repetitive things over and over, it's not for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, if
You might as well just be a robot at that point.
may as well, if I was going just into welding and I was gonna go to like Fanshawe or Conestoga, I'd probably either do pipeline or I'd do structural.
Get your own truck.
Yeah, I get a truck, man. A big diesel.
Everybody needs a truck.
Of course. Hard to see yours go.
Yeah, it sucked. Actually, I just sold. I had a bug deflector that was brand new, still in the package. That was for my truck. Obviously, I don't have the truck anymore, so that's why I got rid of it. But sorry, that's why I got rid of the bug deflector. So when the guy showed up, it was a jacked up Tacoma. Had all the bars across the back.
Tacoma.
You
I
see the blue Tacoma over there?
Sorry?
You see the blue Tacoma over there?
No.
It's my dad's.
Yeah, he had that for, what was that, 18 years?
Yeah, almost 18 years, and he sold it. What kind of truck do you have?
Before?
Yeah.
It was 2014 Tacoma.
Yeah,
But-
and you never had any problems with yours either? Or just small things, but like that's every car.
Just small things, and then the big things came when it got really old. But then, like,
What do you class as really old?
like it was like when it started getting 16, 18. I never owned it, obviously, but like I noticed like he wanted to sell it just because like big things were happening to it.
Right.
But then like people would argue then it's not reliable. But if it lasted 16 years before big things are breaking, it's more reliable than
Yeah, what's so
99%
reliable
of
about it?
vehicles.
Like people that drive Fords and GMs, they're
Yeah, they're taking their
Yeah,
into the shop every 6 months.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
like-
brand new. Like they're back like within like a month or two getting something fixed
Yeah,
all
she's
the
in
time.
the shop more than she's on the road, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. There was I was in getting, I think it was just my oil changed at the dealership, and there was these two old guys sitting on couches on the opposite sides from each other, and one of them just started randomly talking, and they were joking that the only time that they're in the dealership now is to get an oil change, whereas before, like one guy was a Ford guy, the other guy was a GM guy, and they both said, yeah, we were in here every week getting something fixed.
Every week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's probably a bit of an exaggeration, but
I mean,
say it's every month,
yeah,
it would
I
still
wouldn't,
suck.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
And if I had a truck doing a job I want to do, I'd basically be living out of a suitcase. So, no, really, I'd be living in a suitcase traveling around Canada, and if I have a truck that's gonna, like, just bog down every week, like that's not.
Yeah, if it's living in the
It's just
shop.
not feasible
Yeah,
for someone
it's
that,
going to
that
be
owns a
more of an
business.
expense than like more jobs than it would take me to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's funny. The only problem that I ever had with mine was the hinge on my gas door.
How's
it,
that?
it seized up, but the dealership fixed it for free anyway. So I just took it in, and they could see because I'd already had it undercoated, so they could still see the coating still sitting on it. And they're like, "This is so weird that this hinge failed," and it ended up chipping like a little bit of the paint because it failed and couldn't open, so it was bending right into the box.
Oh,
So, yeah, they just looked at it and said, "Yeah, no problem, we'll fix it." And they repainted where the paint got chipped off,
yeah.
and yeah, they were pretty good about it. Stratford Toyota, their service is the best. I know people that drive from London to Stratford just to get their car service because they don't like the service in London.
really,
So,
it's that good.
yeah,
Yeah, speaking of like factory jobs, I've seen these new robots coming out by Neo. I think that's the brand. And they have them, they're like fully humanoid robots that are 5'4", I think they're like 66 pounds. And they have them I think it's in the BMW factory in Germany. And they run like half of like the assembly line. And they're running them all now.
yeah. There was a back in November maybe. They had 4 of them in the Woodstock plant.
Really?
Yeah, like they were just testing them out, but they were humanoid, so they could stand up, they could walk over top of unlevel floors and everything, and they had no problem with it. They'd walk over, pick up a box, turn around, walk back, put it onto another table. Like the engineers were just running tests with them and stuff, but
Yeah.
I can't remember what the name of that one was though. It's some weird name.
That's
But
the thing you
they
got.
look like robots.
Yeah, especially for our future, it's important to like futurize yourself, like have skills that can't be easily replaced by things like ChatGPT or these humanoid robots.
Yeah,
Like these are all coming out in just like the time of a year, and AI has only been around for I don't know, maybe 2 years.
Yeah,
Like
I was just about to say, like, that's kind of what you have to plan for. Like, looking at the big picture now. Because, like, photographers, digital engineers, like, everything, like, I bet, like, a lot of those jobs, like, the editing and, like, all the computer side of it will just be taken away
yeah,
eventually.
yeah, like graphic designers, like they're in trouble, I think.
Like,
Well, there's like some things you can't like necessarily replicate, but if you need like a simple logo for a business or something, why would you pay someone to do it?
I mean, like, those things can write full essays. Like,
Yeah.
they can make a logo. Like,
Well, that was one of the things that there was a writer's strike not that long ago down in Hollywood, and that's what the whole thing was about. Was about AI taking over and now creating stories. So that they basically had to fight for the right to not have AI come in and because I think that would just destroy the movie industry. You're not going to get the same kind of quality
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, you can't
Films.
replicate like human thoughts fully.
no.
So like some of those ideas like can't be, at least right now, can't be made by AI.
I would say the worst thing about the world of like AI and robots and whatnot is not like them taking jobs because like obviously that's a problem, but it's AI faking like people's voices and like pictures and
Oh, yeah.
videos of people because like you could put someone in jail for something they never did. You could blackmail people with things they never did. You know.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that guy that does Tom Cruise? He's got TikTok videos.
Oh,
He
yeah,
looks
yeah.
just like him, voices the same. I mean,
Yeah.
the stuff he says is a little weird, but like weird for Tom Cruise, and he's
Yeah.
slightly taller than him. But if you're not paying attention to that, and he's got the camera angle at the right spot, it's. So there was a movie, maybe 5-6 years ago. It's called Capture. It took place in somewhere in England. I'm going to assume it was London.
Yeah.
But there was a guy out of the military. He had a bit of a history there, so there was a video and CCTV footage showing him killing a woman,
Yeah.
which was his lawyer.
This is lawyer.
Yeah,
It was AI.
it was all AI. It wasn't him, but basically the entire movie is him running from the authorities, trying not to get caught because he knows he didn't do it, but there's a video of it, and he saw the video. So
Yeah,
That's
then
scary
you gotta
shit.
Then you got to think, for the people who actually did do something on video, they're gonna take that into accountability. They're gonna say, "Oh, this might be fake," even though it could be 100% real. Like
Right.
that's how realistic things are now with AI.
yeah. The rumor usually spreads faster than the truth does.
nobody cares about the truth, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, like
They need something juicy.
I can
Yeah.
take a video of anybody doing anything wrong, anything illegal. But I'm pretty like eventually they're gonna want multiple angles. They're gonna want
Yeah,
like
they're gonna
so
have
many
to.
ways to verify it that like they can't even take the video into accountability. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I'm sure there's experts that can tell if something's been engineered versus like raw footage, right? I'm sure there's got to be a way to be able to detect if something's been created. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like a watermark or something. Well, like even, yeah, OpenAI has like a video processing platform now. I forget what it's called, but they released some like samples of how like I think I showed you, Sam, a video of the woman on the ice, and yeah, it's like almost you almost can't tell the difference on how realistic it is, and that's just now. Like imagine like 5 years from now what it could be.
Yeah, like it hasn't even been a thing for a long time, though.
Yeah, it's just new. And like in schools too, like I'm not trying to expose myself here, but
What happens at the back of the English class stays at the back of the English class.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, so and there's platforms, and even ChatGPT has humanizers built into it to cover its tracks.
Yeah,
So if you wrote hypothetically an essay and you turned it in, you can use ChatGPT to cover the tracks that you wrote it with AI.
yeah. There's AI for the AI.
Yeah.
So AI can't detect that it's AI.
Yeah.
that
And
just
then-
sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Like, and then teachers are always stressing out about it. They're like, "Oh, we can't catch these kids
Yeah.
anymore."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't see that, like if you're just doing an essay on like Shakespeare or something that isn't like that important. Okay, well it's still not good, but I wouldn't say it's that big of a deal. But like in like university or something, like I don't want if I'm getting an operation done, I want my surgeon that passed by using ChatGPT to write his final
Yeah.
test.
Yeah, I don't want to get open heart surgery by some Chat GPT nerd
Yeah.
guy that wrote his exam that is worth 80% of his grade and
Yeah, knows how
5
to use a
seconds on
computer than a
ChatGPT.
scalpel.
So then he's got to have an earpiece and ask ChatGPT, okay, where do I make this first cut?
Yeah, where's the first incision?
Yeah. How many stitches should I have here?
Yeah,
Too
just
many?
what-
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and then
just
boom,
before
you're
you
dead.
just before you go out on the anesthesia, you'll see him with like a little earbud in his ear, like oh shit, like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah, the
Like,
Terminator's gonna be.
You'll see him like
operating on
sweating a
you.
little bit. You're like,
Right.
oh shit.
Somebody turn that YouTube channel back on. I can't remember this first part. So, as guys that are in their late teens, early 20s, where do you see AI going? Like, is there anything that scares you about it, or
Well,
Just-
and
this seems to be a really hot topic? Like, I know I've listened to Rogan a bunch of times on stuff like this because he asks a ton of guests like, where do you think AI is going, and
yeah,
because everyone's got it in the back of their mind that they're going to get to a point where AI is going to start building robots. At some point, they won't need us anymore, and
Yeah.
we'll just be in the way.
yeah, it's like where do they draw the line of what can be made by AI and what can't be?
It's for job wise, it's when it's a very physical job, and the job, like the machine for a job that would be controlled by AI, is more expensive than what it would be to hire a human.
Yeah,
Because you think about it, like the job that we're gonna go into, like it's so, like you have to drive to the site, you have to like do all the planning, and like to get AI to do that, it would have to be like
well,
millions and millions of dollars worth of robots to be able to do the job you're doing.
well, that's just right now. But if you could see, like even with just these new robots coming out, like I don't see right now like these humanoids taking over like an electrician's job or a plumber's job, like at least right now. But because these jobs are designed for humans to do. What if they moved like let's say house building into a factory somehow, and they had it designed so it's easier for the robots to work on, and they ship them out?
There is
They already do. They already do that.
Yeah.
Not with the robots, but
Yeah,
prefab homes are built within a factory, and then shipped out in either 2 or 3 pieces. So
Yeah.
I saw a video of a company that takes a big pillow or like a big like balloon, the size of a house, all the shapes and whatnot. They inflate it. They can make the whole like structure of the house in one day, and they pour concrete all around it, and then they let it harden, and then they deflate the balloon, and then boom, you got a shell of a house. And then there's also people that can do that with 3D printers.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
And
that.
it's not like really fine like print. It's like obviously like a few like inches to like feet in diameter of the like printer, but they can print out whole houses.
Yeah, I've seen
So, like,
those.
Like it's gonna get to a point where you drop a huge printer on like a foundation and it's gonna print your house.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
then you have to factor in like who's gonna do the drywalling and who's gonna do the electrical, who's gonna do the plumbing. Like
Well, there is no drywall with these 3D printed homes.
you know
Like,
what I
it's-
mean though, like all the odds and ends inside the
Yeah.
house. Like someone's gonna have to do that. Like setting up a garage door like that right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't get a 3D printer to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good point. Well,
maybe that's where nanotechnology comes in, and they can make it.
yeah. Or have you guys seen the Neuralink chips
Yeah.
that made by Elon Musk?
Yep.
Yeah, they've started putting those. I think there's like a few. I think there's 2 people that have them implanted now. And there's a video of a guy playing chess with his brain, and then there's another guy. I think he gained control of his legs now, and he was like a war veteran or something.
Was he paralyzed?
Yeah, he was paralyzed,
Really?
and now he can walk again. But yeah, imagine getting hacked. Like your brain gets hacked.
That'd be awesome.
Imagine having to buy an antivirus for your brain.
You got like an app store in your head. It's like you know the Apple Vision, the
Yeah.
VR from Apple.
Mhm.
It's like imagine you could have that pop up on your Vision without the headset.
That'd be
you-
kind of cool.
You just
but-
like be doing all your things.
yeah, you're like Iron Man.
I feel like that's like portrayed in so many TV shows and movies that I don't see why that wouldn't be something that they would try to go for. It'll end up being like a contact lens that
Yeah.
you pop in so no one else can see it, and then everything's run through the lens.
Yeah, I've tried the Apple Vision Pro, and it's pretty neat. Like compared to like other VR headsets, like there's really nothing like it. Like if you couldn't feel the weight of it on your head, like you wouldn't even really know what's on there
You tried it when you got back from Florida or when you went to Florida?
when I went there.
Yeah.
And I've also tried it when I was in Tennessee. They had it at one of the Apple stores there because they started releasing them in America first, but now they have them in Canada. So you go like the London Mall or something, you can go give it a shot there.
I thought you had to book appointments to try them on.
Yeah, you do, but it's really easy. Like, you can just book the appointment on your phone. You're good to go.
So when you went and tried out, was it that day that you?
Yeah, it
booked
was that day.
Really?
Yeah.
So it wasn't that busy then.
No, it wasn't too busy. Yeah, you just book your time slot and you just come back in like an hour from then and you're good to go.
I have a movie for you guys to watch then, if that's the kind of stuff that you like. It's called Ready Player One.
Oh, I've seen that
You've seen
movie.
that.
It's,
you have
yeah,
seen it?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Now imagine watching it in VR.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or like Long Legs in VR or Smile.
Oh, imagine.
But it's
Yeah.
like a point of view stance at the movie, so you're like in the main character's eyes.
Or what if they changed movie theaters to instead of watching on a big screen, they had VR headsets for everyone to wear, and you put those on, and then you watch the movie in that.
Honestly, I don't think people would like that.
I think it'd be more like you're more like in the movie then.
Yeah.
Or they could even change, maybe not change the way movies are made, but optimize them for the headsets to make it seem even more real, like you're in the movie.
I feel like that'd be something more fun to do, like either by yourself or like just like you have a few buddies and you're just like in your garage or in your basement watching it.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the problem with having it in a theater is that you need to space out the seats. 'Cause if you can't see the person beside you and you've got your goggles on and something freaks you out and you flick your head this way,
Yeah,
you're now
take the
hitting
other guy.
somebody, or someone swings an arm because something's coming too close to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you've seen how people react when they're wearing those goggles. Like we had them at work, and they had a whole section taped out in the ground, so they could only have 6 people in the area, and then everyone had to stay within their box. because you could see them. They're looking up, they're looking around, they're walking. They had handheld things, so they could see their hands moving as they were walking and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a couple of years ago, so I can only imagine what they're like now.
Yeah,
But
funny you say that. When I was trying the Vision Pro for the first time, they've changed the seats. They used to just be like flat little stools, but they had one guy that was like, they have in the demonstration, they take you to like on African lion safari, and they take you through, and like a rhino comes up really close to your face, and there was this guy sitting with it on, and it came up to his face, and he fell off the back and broke one of the headsets. So now they have like weighted stools with backs on them, so you don't fall off.
The Apple Vision.
Yeah, because it's so realistic.
Aren't they like a few grand?
Yeah, in Canada, they're like $6,000. I think that's before
Wow.
taxes.
Did they make him pay for it? Probably not.
Probably not. Well, yeah.
I saw a video on Apple, and it was like how much money they made per minute. I don't know what it was. It was a while ago, but I thought like, you could just
Yeah.
give us free stuff. Like you're making enough money.
yeah,
But
but
no
then that number would start coming down,
Yeah,
and that's not what shareholders like.
Yeah, no.
yeah. Like, what are AirPods now? Like over $300,
Yeah, like,
and like
AirPods-
that's pennies to Apple.
oh, that's like nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing to them.
that's pennies. They
Yeah,
make
like the
that
first AirPods came out like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
the first generation are like obsolete now. I don't even know if it.
Yeah, but how much does it cost Apple to make the?
Oh, a penny.
Yeah, there's
Oh, yeah.
probably $50, and they're charging 300, right?
Yeah,
The sweatshops are cooking them away.
exactly. Yep. Pay some dude in China to make 1,000 of those a day, 1 penny.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know how much it really cost them to make like their phones and AirPods, because like they charge like a new phone. It's like $1,200, $1,300.
I feel like a big budget of it is like obviously it doesn't cost them nearly as much for the hardware itself, but it's like all the software and all
Yeah.
the it's a very experimental thing, you know.
Well, yeah,
It's all the R&D that has to go into it. It's
Yeah.
just like a car.
'Cause,
They,
like-
they spend millions and millions of dollars just getting the shape of a car and then trying to figure out what components they're going to put in it and how to be able to assemble it all together without making it into a big production. I mean, it is, don't get me wrong, but they spend so much time trying to figure out how to assemble it as well. So I mean, there's a ton of things that go into everything. Like even like these mics that we're looking at, they probably spent years trying to figure out how to get the sound properly that they wanted or whatever.
Yeah.
And no one ever thinks that. They just think of, this thing actually probably only cost, say, $10 in material because they buy so many, but it's the R&D that goes into it as
Yeah.
well. So
And making hardware, like making any product, like software, hardware, whatever, there's no guarantee in it, you know what I mean?
no, you're
So
right.
they're going to charge extra for the risk factor.
Yep.
So in a big market, they're able to charge more. You know what I mean? And also like Apple's got a pretty firm grip on the
yeah.
phone market, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think what people pay a lot is for the software and like the name. Because if people just want a phone and want to be cheap, they just go buy like an Android or something.
Yeah.
So I think that's what keeps people coming back.
And that's the thing
They're
also
probably
is
just
like
pissed off all the Android users right now.
Oh yeah, sorry guys.
yeah, and like you really look at it, like if they raise the price of a phone $100, like people are still gonna buy it. If it's Apple, people are still gonna buy it. And like people will say they won't, but here they are spending $1,500 on a iPhone 15 whatnot doodad.
Yeah.
It's like
Every year or two, right?
Yeah.
Every time one comes
Yeah.
out, some people just go and buy another one.
Yeah, and Apple's really good at making like old things seem new. Like when Face ID came out, like Apple made it seem like it was brand new, and Androids have had it for like years.
yeah, it's marketing.
Yeah,
And
Apple's
also,
got
like-
really good marketing.
And
Really,
Android,
really
like
good.
allegedly, their cameras are way better, and they have been for years. And then now Apple's just catching up, and like everyone's just going, "Oh, Apple this, Apple that,"
Yeah.
just because they made that step that Android already had. But like that was kind of pushed under the rug, because no one cares,
Yeah.
because Apple's
They
marketing
just
is
care if it
better.
has that Apple symbol on it.
Yeah,
Makes sense. They know what they're doing.
Oh, absolutely.
I guess maybe sometimes it's just easier to let someone else come out with something and see if it works, because just because you come out with something that's really good doesn't mean that it's popular or that people even like it, right? So
Yeah.
they might go, yeah, this camera's all right, but it's not really what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So then Apple moves on to the next one. Who's got the next thing? And they'll
Yeah.
just make something similar, right? So
It's also about compatibility, like how well things work with each other.
Yeah.
Like
and that's what Apple's known for because all their stuff works together.
Yeah.
yeah, like AirPods with Apple, you just take it out, boom, it's connected. Same with like tools, like Milwaukee and DeWalt, like all. I know you're laughing over there. But yeah, like they're all interchangeable batteries, all charged like with their stock charger. Like if it's compatible and it's convenient, people are gonna buy it.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of companies are doing that now, like right across the board for for tools that they realize that people will jump ship from one manufacturer to another because based on what Apple was doing with trying to hold on to a market, say with the charging cord, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got one specific battery that's needed, and then you've got this other company, like, let's just say Milwaukee was one specific battery, and it's a different one for each tool.
Yeah.
This company over here now makes one battery for all their tools.
Yeah. It's just more convenient for the consumer.
Right. So then to go on top of that, they've started making batteries for basically all of them. Like they're all slowly turning into the same battery. And you can buy almost any knockoff battery now for
Yeah.
all these places, which is helpful. But you got some places like Rigid years ago, as long as you buy your product and you register it, batteries included. If the battery dies, they just replace it.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing for battery operated anything. Is after that battery dies, it's now $300 or $400 to go and get a new battery.
Yeah. Like a 2-pack of Milwaukee 5 amp hour batteries is like $300,
Yeah.
which is crazy. Just like I bought a knockoff Milwaukee battery just to see what it was like,
Why?
just to see how it would do, just to see how it would do.
Idea.
And I tried it and it lasted like a couple months, and then eventually it just died. It wouldn't charge. So the way I got it working again, I basically jump started it with another battery I had. I broke 2 razor blades in half and stuck it in the slots.
How much did you pay for it?
Oh, it was like $30 on AliExpress.
No,
That's the way like brands back on the compatibility thing. That's also a way brands get you to stay with them. Is like if they make their product unusable with like Milwaukee and you take a DeWalt battery, not gonna work together, you know?
Yep.
And same with like Apple has like the USB-C now. But before when they had the Lightning, which people mostly have now because like it was in the 14s and below.
yep.
You can't charge it with any other like leading brand phone.
Yeah. It was also smart on Apple for like when they make those lightning cords, like that is their cord. So any other like third-party manufacturer has to give an Apple a little cut for just making that cord.
Yeah, and they probably
just for
make
using their
millions.
design.
They probably make millions on that
Oh
every
yeah.
year. And
I
if
forget
you-
what it's. I think it's royalty costs. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, if you buy like a Apple branded charging cord, it's like what, $50?
Yeah.
Or something. Like it probably literally costs them $1 to make it.
Yeah, you can go on like AliExpress or something and buy the same cord for $5.
Yeah, and you could buy like if you buy them in bulk, like you pay like
Yeah.
half a
Yeah.
cent.
Nothing. Literally nothing for them.
Yeah, that was France that made Apple switch over, I believe.
Oh yeah, with the Type C's. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they said you can't sell them here if you're gonna have your own cord. It's gotta be the same as everybody else. Something
Yeah.
along those lines, anyways. It's
Yeah.
just crazy to think that a country's got that much power over one manufacturer that would switch everything
Yeah, I
over.
could
It's like
switch the
that.
sign. It's interesting, but I think Type C is a better cord, anyways. Like it's faster
do I.
charging and it's just more universal. Like if you have a MacBook, at least like some of the older MacBooks still use USB Type C. I think the new ones are like MagSafe or something. But Type C is like everywhere. Like most new products have Type C charging now.
Yeah, all of our laptops at work are all Type C,
Yeah.
which is convenient now. So now everybody can just unplug your laptop and plug in your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that and cars are putting USB-C right into their charging ports as well now, which is nice. So
Yeah. Like
Makes it a little
USB-A
faster.
is like so slow for charging. Like if you've been using like fast chargers that you can charge your phone up in like 45 minutes, then you grab your old Type A, which is it takes 2 hours to charge like a newer phone.
I don't know if I've ever had a cord in mine. I've only ever used wireless.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it's when I go to bed at night, I just pop it on the charger, and it's a holder to it, and it pulls it right out of your hand.
Yeah, like the magnetic stuff.
Yeah.
I don't trust those.
No.
Or I would if it was like an Apple one. But like if it's a third party charger, like I just know overnight my phone's gonna buzz. It's gonna slide off the charger, and like I'll be late for work, no
Uh-huh.
alarm or something like that, and I'll just be like, why'd I get this thing?
Well, I'm pretty sure they have like magnets in them that lock them into place. Like you
Yeah,
know,
they
you know how
do.
the AirPods have that?
Yeah.
They snap on and then they
Yeah,
don't
that's
come
what I
off.
mean. Like a third party one probably wouldn't have
Oh.
that.
Yeah.
And like, why would you pay however much for an Apple one when you could pay $5 for a charger
That's a good point.
for like a regular wire?
Yeah.
But that they're probably gonna get rid of the charging port on the bottom, to make it more water resistant. Because like you said, the MagSafe stuff where it kind of magnets on and it's got the contact points on the bottom.
Yep.
I almost guarantee they're gonna swap it out for that.
Yeah, they could make wireless charging as fast as a wired connection. I think it would just be
Well, it wouldn't even have to be wireless. You'd have two prongs on the bottom, and they just
Yeah.
clip right in.
Yeah, I wonder if there'll be a day when you could charge your phone, like if you had, I don't know, let's say it was like a charging like hub, and it transmits the power to your phone. You could be sitting on the couch and you have your thing on the table. That'd be interesting if it could be like that. Just wonder how they would do that.
Sorry. What exactly do you mean?
Like if you could have like fully wireless charging without having to have your phone like laying on something.
I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
Think so?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
So what? You want to sit back?
Yeah, have your phone sitting over here and you could have it charging a couple feet away. I don't know if there's some way to.
No wire, no nothing. You just.
I don't know.
There's no way you don't get brain cancer from that though.
No. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's no way you're living in a house that's
Yeah, like-
charging your phone.
That
while
sounds
you're
more like a
walking around.
microwave.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you're living in a microwave right there.
Yeah, or do it some way safely.
Yeah, like I would, if that came out, I would wait a few years to see how many people got cancer, and then I'd judge if I want to get one or not. And then I have to judge if it's worth $10,000 to
Yeah.
install.
Yeah, I wonder
Yeah.
how expensive that would be.
And then that's where you come back to the $5 charging cord from
Yeah.
Dollarama.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or they could just make it so that these batteries last longer,
Yeah,
and then
that's
you don't have to
true.
worry about any of that stuff.
Yeah, like a whole week battery life.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
Or I wonder if they could do something I know most guys don't hold their phone when they're walking, but I feel like lots of women do. So if they're walking and it swings, they could get some sort of kinetic power that way.
Yeah.
You know what? Some watches
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's they're not battery powered, but it's like whatever kinetic energy, whatever. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But like, there's like a spring coil up inside it, and as you like move it around, it recoils that, and like it'll just keep going.
Yeah, that's old technology too.
Yeah,
So
but like watches like that get like really expensive,
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
and you can also manually wind them too, with the dial.
yeah, that's really really old.
Yeah, but you
Like
think
like
like
the first watch,
Yeah, back in your day.
like the pocket watch.
Yeah.
Well, I know you guys could probably talk all night.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys go so you can get on with the rest of your night.
All right.
I don't know what you guys do on during the week, but I'm sure you got something else better than this. So,
Yeah. Well, I appreciate having us on.
well,
Yeah,
thank you very much,
Thank you.
it was great.
and I'll talk to everybody next time.